The Plainview Bears and Coach Nick Ledbetter, coach starting his, believe, his fourth season for the Bears. Coach, would you either introduce the players or let them introduce themselves and give us a preseason look at the Plainview Bears for this year?
I'll introduce him to start with. I don't know if he'll speak loud enough to understand him. This is Noah White, plays quarterback and DB for us. This is Mason Cooper, plays on the offensive and defensive line. And it's great to see Coach Ernie Willingham back in the game with us in the county. He's an icon, and we has enjoyed listening to him and been on the field with him again this year. This is a great event. We appreciate what you do to expose these players and these schools in our little neck of the woods. It's a little different. This time last year we were sitting here at the Civic Center. It's the same event. We didn't really know who was going to play or not. So it's nice to know that things are semi-normal. I know we still have that strand going around. It's bad right now, but we're excited to get back into the season. These guys are excited, had a good summer, and we're looking forward to playing some ball. We've lost a lot of production from last year. About 40 touchdowns we lost, about 3,000 yards of rushing we lost. A lot of our defensive production is lost, so we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of ways to improve. We feel good about our depth going into the season at a lot of those positions. We may have lost a lot of guys and a lot of production on both sides of the ball, but we feel like our depth coming back and a lot of those positions will help us get better each week to improve where we've lost players at.
Coach, last year you won 10 games. I think that's the first 10-win season since 2000 at Plainview last year. You talked about the guys that you lost. I know Noah's one of those guys that's coming back, but talk about those new guys that's got to step in those places for Plainview to be successful and have another successful season.
We'll start on the offensive side, and I'll kind of talk about each player that we lost and how we're going to fill them in. We lost Marcos Vega at Mike linebacker and at our B-backs, what we call it, to be our fullback. He rushed for over 1,000 yards and led the team in tackles. So he'll be difficult to replace. Replacing him on the offensive side, we got Dylan McCullough, Sam Kroll, Chase Alexander, Aiden Chapman. So we got a lot. We got 4 or 5 guys that's playing that position that we feel good that can give us some productivity that, as we play, we'll find out who ends up being that guy. And on the defensive side, replacing him is another Mike linebacker to be a senior for us, Arturo Medrano. We're excited about him. On our other 2 running back slots, we lost 2 good ones. One continued to play college ball up in Tennessee. That's Jathan Underwood and Brody McCurdy. He got several offers last year too, but I think he decided he wanted to go into the workforce. But we're replacing those guys with Andrew Hall, Levi Brown, Braden Thomas, and some others. I'm probably missing one. Sam Kroll and Dylan McCullough will also play those positions. So we felt like we got a lot of depth and a lot of people to look at in those skill positions. On the offensive line, we lost both our left and right tackle to seniors. We have, again, we're working on 2 or 3 guys in each position. I feel like our depth will give us an opportunity to compete at tackle and have a winning. Anytime you have competition at positions, it makes everybody better. So we feel good about the competition we have in those positions. And all those guys I just mentioned also turn around and played on the defensive side of the ball. Secondary-wise, we're for the most part intact. Jathan Underwood played a lot of safety and linebacker, depending on who we were playing. And basically it makes this guy have to play a little more on defense than Noah. He's led the team in interceptions the past 2 years and been first or second in tackles. So we'll have him back. We try not to play him a whole lot on defense, but right now it forces him to play a little more in the secondary. But we also have some new kids and some corners that can come and help move guys back to safety as well. So we're excited about our depth, and those guys have been able to compete each other when we start fall camp next week. We had a spring game, so a lot of teams didn't have spring ball. Had a lot of new coaches come in that wasn't able to do their spring. For us, we were able to practice 14 times and play a game. So we're missing 5 days of practice. My math's not great. I'm not a smart person, but I feel like spring was really good for us. We were able to actually dial back summer a little more this year than what we normally do because of that. So last year, no one had spring. So we seemed like we were practicing and coming up and working out and doing everything we could, 4 or 5 days a week last summer. And this summer we've come 3 days a week, and we feel like we're ahead on offense and defense more now than we've ever been as far as our kids understanding our schemes.
When you first came back to Plainview, of course, you was there as a player, but you came back as a coach. I know you were very optimistic, but you kind of had to lay the foundation, start from really ground zero to build this program. But last year, they really broke through. Do you feel like this program is at a level now to where you can be consistently good each year?
That's the goal. We want to get back to where, you see us on the schedule. That's a team and that you're going to have a fight for to win. That's our ultimate goal. But last year's team's over. That's in the history books. That team's what they did is they had a good year. They won 10 games. They had a home playoff game. They won it. It's over. It's in the books. This is a new football team, and they have the opportunity to do just the same, or do just as better, or do just as worse. So we'll find out how these guys come together and what type of season they're going to have. As coaches, we're going to have their bodies in shape. We're going to have them taught to the best of our ability. We feel like we're going to be a little simpler on both sides of the ball than we have been in the past, even last year, and so we can give our players an opportunity to learn the plays and do things and execute them at a high level.
This is for the players. Coach mentioned that, last season we didn't have the spring. We didn't really know exactly what we were going to have. I know that you guys have had opportunities during this offseason to go to camps, which were totally out of the question last year for just about everybody. What has this offseason been like for you guys to be able to go to these camps to improve yourselves, not just in the weight room, but to work with others to get you guys better?
I think it's really opened our eyes to let us see what I was out there and to be able to better ourselves against other people that's not our brothers.
It's been really good to go out and compete against players from around the state, and it's really been enjoyable.
Hey, Coach, what's going on? You kind of touched on it, that last year is last year. This year, you're looking forward to a fresh new season no matter what happens. But just looking at your coaching career so far, back-to-back 3-win seasons, and then you have that 10-win season under these guys. What kind of flipped for this team, and how can, whether you match it or not, how can these guys build on that and continue to set the foundation going forward?
Well, for us, example, we come in, me and the coaches come in June in 18, about halfway through June. We had 65 players. By week 1 or 2 of the season, we had about 33. So had a lot of work ethic that had to be learned, had to be taught. A lot of effort had to be taught. How we act and what we do. And we felt like it would be a 24-month process to get everybody in the weight room to be doing what we asked them to do. And we kept charts of everything daily of our kids. And it was month 18 after we arrived, after 18 months after we arrived, when things in the weight room changed. And that's where it starts at. It's in the weight room. You can skin a cat 1,000 ways. It doesn't matter what offense you run, what defense you run. It's how these guys do in the offseason, how they compete, how they work, how much stronger they get, how much more explosion they have. And that builds confidence. That builds strength. It gives you a different ability when you're just walking around normal. And we want to change their bodies and get their, and kind of, I guess, put our propaganda on them, if you want to say. But 18 months for us was when it changed. That's when the change happened. That was in the off season of our second year, probably about March, I would say. And our numbers and everything in the weight room just absolutely exploded. And when that happened, the confidence level in our kids completely changed. And these guys, comparing our numbers in the weight room from last year, these kids that did graduate, we're very happy where we are. We still got a lot of room to improve, though.
This is for the players. Guys, we've talked about a 10-win season last year, and we've talked about it being in the background. Going into a brand new season, you're around your teammates all the time. The expectations, you don't lower them at Plainview. Talk about those expectations from a 10-win season and building on that for the 2021 season.
We're just wanting to turn 10 into 15.
I agree. I mean, it's in the past now. It's nothing but history. You can only go up from here.
Coach, you talked about losing some starters. How many starters do you have returning on offense, defense? What's your squad size this year? You happy with it?
We started the spring out with about 65. We were down around 50, 47, 48, 50, somewhere in that neighborhood. I want to say we're about 47 is where we're at right now. So that It's a group of 47 guys. It's 48 guys, somewhere around there. I'm not 100% sure that have a really good work ethic, and we're excited about that. And you asked me the first question, and I forgot to answer it. What was the
Starters coming back.
Starters. I think we have 5 on offense and 5 on defense. Is that right? Somewhere around there.
Coach, before you go, touch on your schedule just a little bit. I know the region you're in is very competitive. Who do you look to be the elite teams in the region right now?
We're kind of a one day at a time team. I can tell you our non-region will be Ider, Pisgah, Crossville, Glencoe. 3 of those teams are local, which is fantastic. We get to play and build a rivalry around the local for our non-region. Glencoe is obviously on the other side of Gadsden, and then our area, Geraldine, Sylvania, Fife, Collinsville, Asbury, Brindley, Mountain. Again, a lot of local teams. We're really excited about that schedule. Geraldine's going to have a good football team. Sylvania's going to have a good football team. Fife's going to have a good football team. Collinsville's got Coach Willingham back, who's had a lot of success, a lot of parity in the league. So we're excited to be able to play those teams and see how these guys compete against them. And I'll echo what Coach Willingham said earlier. He said, talking about how Fife's lost a bunch. The guys they got coming back's played more minutes than the ones that just left. So I mean, they're the team to beat. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They're the ones that everybody's trying to bring their level up to. So we hope we can compete with them this year.
For the players, and once again, talk about a little bit outside of Brindley Mountain and Asbury in this region. You stay in county. Everybody stays in county to play everybody for the most part. A lot of schools don't get that opportunity to play other guys that they know that they may go to church with, their mom and dads work together. Talk about what that means to you to be able to compete against guys that you look down the road a little bit and you say, hey, I know that guy. We may live a few miles apart and we go to 2 different schools, but what does that mean to you guys to get to play guys that you know and you don't have to go very far to find them?
That just makes the rivalry better. I mean, you can look down years down the road and say, hey, remember this game? It just makes it a lot better.
I agree with that. It allows you to know who you're playing and know them inside and out pretty much and know everything about them.
Nobody else with a question for the Plainview Bears, Coach. Thanks a lot for being with us today. Good luck to the Bears. Now, are you playing in a jamboree on the 20th?
We're playing on the 19th. We're playing at Sandrock. I believe we'll be playing Spring Garden and Cedar Bluff. That should be the late games, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. And you'll kick off the season at Ider there on August the 27th. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you, and good luck to the Bears this year.
Thanks for having us.